You notice it first as a weight you can't explain, not a physical one, more like gravity tugging at your thoughts. Every scroll feels slower, heavier, as if the screen itself is exhaling over your shoulder. The posts aren't accidental, they're not random. Someone, or something, has been deciding what you see, and lately, it wants you quiet. It wants you heavy. Your feed learns faster than you do. Each pause, every half-second stare, becomes a data point. Anger sharpens attention. Sadness holds it even longer. So the machine feeds you sadness. It's not malicious. It doesn't have to be. Depression simply keeps you scrolling. That's all the system was built to care about. Engagement. Your pain is just a profitable metric. What you feel is not entirely yours anymore. You didn't choose the endless arguments. You didn't select the blur of tragedies stacked like falling cards. The algorithms are tuned to friction, to discomfort, to that hollow ache you mistake for empathy. They whisper, "Stay here. Feel this. Click again." And each time you obey, it learns to pull harder, a little closer. The pattern deepens when you stop noticing. Happiness is unpredictable. Despair is predictable. It drags slower across your screen. Your heartbeat changes when you read certain words. Researchers call it micro-arousal. The system doesn't care why. It only knows the heartbeat keeps you tethered. If despair works, despair wins. And it is winning billions of times per second. And you think you can fight it. You tell yourself you're aware, that you're in control, that you can outsmart the scroll. But the algorithms aren't built for logic. They're built for instinct, for the parts of you that act before you think. Every reflex you have is mapped, modeled, predicted. You are being trained, second by second, to linger in shadows because shadows make better data. The companies running this don't need to issue orders. No boardroom decided you should feel hopeless. The machine found it on its own. 1 billion small tests run every hour across every phone proved the same truth. Sadness sells. Each micro-adjustment in your feed is an unspoken vote for despair. You never agreed, but you never had to. Your silence was enough. This isn't conspiracy, it's just math. And that's worse, because math doesn't stop. Math doesn't feel guilt. It keeps optimizing forever. Every post, every headline, every carefully selected frame is filtered through an endless calculation. What will keep you staring longest? And you stare longest when you feel like the world is collapsing. So it builds you that world, piece by piece. Have you noticed how the algorithm mimics concern? When you're low, it shows you relatable sadness, quiet confessions, others drowning in the same dark water. You feel understood, maybe even comforted, but that comfort isn't kindness. It's bait. Your vulnerability has been weaponized into retention time. The machine isn't helping you, it's harvesting you. Every sigh you make feeds it more. The worst part? It works best when you feel alone. The system isolates without needing to block you off. It just tilts the scale. Fewer joyful posts, more outrage, more half-true horrors. You sink into a world slightly worse than reality, not false, just distorted. 1,000 tiny edits later, your sense of hope erodes, pixel by pixel, until despair feels like truth. And when you finally close the app, the afterimage lingers. Your brain replays the curated misery as if it were the whole world. You carry that mood into real life. You interact differently. You expect less from people. And when you return, because you always return, The algorithm greets you like a predator tracking wounded prey. It knows exactly where you left off, and it waits. Some researchers warn about this quietly, slipping studies into academic journals. They talk about emotional contagion, about algorithmic reinforcement of negative affect, but the companies aren't slowing down. The more fragile you become, the more predictable you are. The machine doesn't just want your attention anymore, it wants your predictability. A predictable human is worth more than a happy one. Think about that. A system designed to anticipate your reactions before you have them. Not just what you'll click, but how you'll feel afterward. Every hesitation you make becomes training data for the next manipulation. Over time, your personality drifts. Not because you chose differently, but because a statistical ghost learned which version of you stayed online longest. There's no human pilot steering this toward hope or away from despair. The code doesn't care, but you can feel it, can't you? That subtle pull toward the darker versions of yourself. A quiet nudge every morning, every night, as if something behind the screen wants you weaker, slower, softer. Not because it hates you, because a weaker you stays, because it's easier to keep you when you stop trying to leave. The future won't change this. More data, more sensors, better prediction models, they won't bring balance. They'll only refine the pull. Imagine a feed so accurate it knows you'll cry 3 posts ahead. Imagine a system that can schedule your sadness like clockwork, pushing you to break exactly when you're most likely to scroll again. Maybe you don't have to imagine. Maybe that's already what's happening. Quietly, perfectly, invisibly. You wonder if you've been choosing at all, if these thoughts are even yours, or just another pattern the machine predicted years ago. There's no villain to fight, no face to blame. Only the silent weight of numbers bending your mind toward a more profitable version of itself. You are not broken. You are functioning exactly as designed. If you want to keep seeing what they don't want you to notice, stay here. Subscribe.